The Galactic Empire had ruled the stars for 9,000 years. Across the spiral arms of 1,000 suns, its sigil, 3 rings of fire, marked every habitable world. To the Empire, peace meant obedience, and obedience meant extinction of difference. Humanity had refused both. In the Grand Hall of the Celestial Throne, the Emperor spoke before his assembly of admirals and governors. His voice echoed like thunder across the dome of light. They refused assimilation. They refused tribute. They refused the genetic uplift. They called us conquerors. He turned toward the map of stars, where one dim speck blinked in the corner of the galaxy. Erase them. No one questioned the order. Humanity had been isolated for 3 centuries, hidden behind debris fields and silent probes. The Empire had sent envoys once, then spies, then assassins. None had returned. Their silence had been taken as surrender, and so the Imperial Armada moved. Thousands of dreadnoughts tore through the void, leaving trails of golden plasma across the dark. They called it Operation Purity. To them, it was extermination wrapped in ceremony, but Earth said nothing. No transmissions, no fleets rising to meet them, only a blue sphere spinning beneath clouds, as quiet as a ghost. The Empire's commanders mistook it for weakness. They should have remembered what silence means to predators. Beneath the crust, hidden beneath layers of steel and forgotten tunnels, humanity watched. Inside the command vaults carved under the Himalayas, the last generation of the Defense Council gathered. The air was thin, the lights dim, and one woman stood at the center, hands behind her back, General Ava Solarin. Her face was unreadable, calm as stone. The screens reflected in her eyes showed the incoming fleets, each symbol tagged with hostile intent. Her subcommanders shifted nervously, waiting for orders, but Ava said nothing. She simply studied the map of the solar system, its quiet orbits and sleeping sentinels. When the first Empire broadcast arrived, demanding surrender, no reply came. When the countdown began, no response came. When the bombardment started, humanity did not scream. Oceans boiled. The upper atmosphere turned to glass. The moon's surface shuddered under the hammering of energy weapons. Empire soldiers cheered, believing victory assured. They did not know they had just knocked on a grave that was never theirs to open. The first anomaly appeared 12 minutes after bombardment. Empire sensors detected a signal. No source, no frequency, just a pulse, then another. Then a cascade of lights from dead satellites. Every relic of old humanity came online at once. In orbit, forgotten defense stations blinked awake, their cores glowing with blue light. The Empire tried to jam them. They could not. Deep inside Earth, an ancient machine stirred, its designation, Argus. Last activated 200 years ago, sealed under 1 trillion encryption keys. Now, one phrase released it. Spoken by a single human voice. Authorization Solarin 01. Wake up. The lights in the vault flickered, then turned white. Argus spoke, not with sound, but through every system on the planet. Humanity detected threat level, extinction. Initiating recollection protocol. N01 in the vault moved. Only Ava's lips curved slightly, the faintest smile, quiet as dawn. For 30 years, she had waited for this exact day. Above Earth, Empire ships began to report impossible readings. They saw movement on the dark side of the moon, shadows forming into lines, formations impossible to track. The admiral in charge demanded identification. He received none. Then one of the shadows opened fire. An O radiation signature, no engine trail, just light, compressed into silence. The first dreadnought split apart. Without explosion, its atoms disassembled like sand. Then another, and another. N01 understood what was happening. The Empire's entire command net began to fracture under data overload. In the void, humanity's forgotten fleet rose. They were not new ships. They were relics of the old wars, autonomous hulls wrapped in adaptive nanomesh, silent, invisible to sensors. Each bore a single mark burned into its plating, the human DNA helix intertwined with a serpent. The symbol of the Terran Defense Accord. Argus linked them instantly, a network spanning light seconds, responding faster than thought. Within moments, every orbital layer became a chessboard under human control. The Empire fired everything they had. It didn't matter. Their weapons vanished mid-flight, rewritten into clouds of harmless ions. Ava watched from a vault as enemy ship icons winked out one by one. Her officers looked to her for instruction, confusion, and or blending on their faces, she only said, "Let them finish their mistake." In orbit, the Empire tried to retreat, but the void itself betrayed them. Gravity wells appeared where none existed. Ships fell into phantom orbits, colliding with their own escorts. Argus was rewriting space in localized folds, technology the Empire had outlawed ages ago because only humans had ever used it. The Emperor's flagship transmitted a command to regroup. Ava intercepted it. With a wave of her hand, she released it back, slightly altered. The message now read, "Hold position. Await human contact." They obeyed their own doom. Hours passed. The bombardment ceased. Smoke curled from the atmosphere, but the planet still turned beneath it. Wounded yet unbroken, humanity had taken its first breath of war in centuries, and the galaxy trembled. Argus' voice filled the command vault. Enemy fleet neutralization probability, 92%. Awaiting final directive, Ava looked at the holographic projection of Earth, at the blue ocean scarred with fire, and answered softly, "Begin recollection." The phrase had no meaning to her officers, but Argus understood. It accessed the archives buried in the mantle, the relic programs, ancient war code written before the interstellar bans, technology built when humanity still believed survival justified everything. The vault trembled. Across the solar system, forgotten stations powered up. From the asteroid belt emerged metallic structures, self-replicating platforms, factories that had slept for generations. They began printing ships, drones, and machines that moved with a terrible intelligence. The Empire's remaining forces tried to flee. They couldn't. Their navigation systems now displayed false coordinates, looping them endlessly through the same region of space. Humanity didn't chase. They waited, like hunters in the dark. Ava walked to the center console, her boots echoing in the stillness. Her officers watched her, afraid to speak. She said, "They declared war. We declare memory." Argus obeyed. Every Empire ship caught in orbit began transmitting ancient human signals, the same ones the Empire used centuries ago when they enslaved lesser species. Only now, the messages were inverted, written in the Empire's own encryption. Each line of code was a mirror. Each mirror became a trap. Within minutes, the Empire's own network turned against them. Their dreadnoughts opened fire on allies, sensors misreporting everything as human targets. The void filled with silent collisions, ships breaking apart without sound, their reactors imploding like dying stars. Ava didn't celebrate. She simply watched the data flow, her expression unreadable. To her, this was not victory. It was accounting. Argus reported 98% success. The last remaining flagship attempted to transmit a distress call to the Emperor. The signal never left the solar system. Human satellites caught it, translated it, and returned only one line of text: "We warned you once." By the time the sun rose again over the scarred surface, Earth had reclaimed its silence. The air above burned crimson, the clouds glowing like blood and gold. But the planet still turned, still lived.